Hello, hello, my friends. I am coming to you to do a few stories in my kids' albums. As I mentioned at the beginning of 2023, that I am going to try and do more stories in real time instead of I think I only did like at least of just the boys. I think I only did maybe 3 stories in his, let's see, yeah, that's 2020 or 2021, 3 stories in his album for all of 2022. Now I did do Project Life and all of that kind of stuff somewhat, so I will probably go back and do more stories for just like their albums. But yeah, for my oldest, I did like 3 stories. So what I'm trying to do is, you have seen previously I did set these up. I will link that up above if you haven't seen it, up here somewhere. But I did use the renewal kit by Tracy Reed Designs to start his album. He will have a divider every month that will look something or other like this. I have to print out the new one, actually. I just have run out of vellum, so we're waiting on a shipment of that. So yeah, so I'll have January. I think I am going to make him a 2023 divider also. I just haven't gotten that far. And then I just put like a little, divider in here, little quote. And this was the first page. I was going to have him list a few goals that he is reaching for this year. I just haven't gotten to that. I need to have him do that. So we're here. I had already printed this card out from the renewal kit, which is kind of crazy because I was about to print out the same saying in an Allie Edwards card from the Good kit. So it literally said, "Good things take time," out of the Good kit. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I already have that one printed out. There's no need to. So this is just going to be a real easy story of, I have a journaling card and then a 4x6 and then a full page photo over here, and that is it for his. And then I have one story for my other son, and that is pretty much just going to be the start of this. I don't know exactly how I will do this video. I do have a few different stories that I am trying to tell. At least for my oldest, he had a couple more stories this January than my youngest did. But yeah, that's about it. So I just wanted to come on here and mention that, and I will put you guys on fast forward and let's get this part done. Sorry guys, I am going to do this now that I have a cold. This video came together really weird with how I did it, unfortunately. Next month I'll get better at this. Anyways, at this point, I'm trying to figure out where I was at. Anyways, at this point, I had made 2 cards, like I had mentioned before, with the Tracy Reed renewal kit. I was just kind of like keeping it, like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to really explain it, but I felt like I just needed to stay with the same kit that I started the divider with, and so I did it that way. I don't know how else to explain it, but that was me cutting also my other child's journaling card, and yeah, you'll see that I try to use my paper as most wisely as I can possibly use it. So you'll see things from like Project Life if I run out of space, all that kind of stuff. So all right, so that one side is going to be a full page spread. This is a story of just how hard my oldest has been working and trying to gain strength and all that kind of stuff for his baseball. Used currently on top of there, and then copied him and the picture, put it on another layer to put over top of the current layer so you can kind of see that. So it goes in behind
him on the picture. I showed you that 4x6 also, as that was just another story in January. He had finals, and so yeah, he was doing a lot of studying, and also finding him several times studying on his own without me reminding him, and just mentioning how different it was from last year and how less stressful it was because he learned a lot of lessons from last year's finals. My youngest son's stories, I just didn't have that many stories from January, honestly. I really need to go back and see if I can, find a few more because this section is going to be quite small. In January, we just really don't do too much. It's after Christmas. I am usually burnt out on Christmas. I do a lot for Christmas, and I hunker down, finish my December daily, and it's super cold here in Michigan, so we just don't have a ton of stories. But I did do this story about my son making brownies. There is a full page picture to go with it. I just did not get this project completely finished. So you'll probably see it here pop in at some other time, so I'll update you with that. Other than that, I am going to throw you back into another real-time storytell from another day. I had to mesh the two together because one was not long enough. All right, guys. So, like I mentioned, it's going to be a little jumpy, but I think you guys are getting the gist. A lot of these actual stories that I'm doing right now did actually happen in a January, but January of like 2012. But like I mentioned before, this is the January stories kit. So I figured, there we go. We're going to do a little bit of January's story kit crush. And like I said before, I have gotten about 5 stories out of this with barely even trying at this point because of finding some old pictures. But yeah, this concept is straight from Kristalina Unate. It was out of the story class. I believe one of her story ideas. I think she had this at the top. Maybe she had it at the bottom. I'm not sure. And I think I used a different embellishment, but for the most part, it is pretty indicative. This is a picture of my husband with his father that had passed about 20 days after this picture was taken very unexpectedly. And I'm just now finding out that we even have these pictures. So I am trying pretty hard to get them into the scrapbook and to get some stories told because we just don't have very many pictures of him. So just a real quick story. And unfortunately, my husband has seizures and doesn't remember a lot of stories. So having these pictures are definitely very special to him. But this was New Year's Eve of 2011. So 12/31/11. I think that's what I put on here at least. We'll see. Maybe I put 2012, and that would be honestly wrong. It would be 2011. Should go back and look at that. But anyways, real easy. Just the hearts from the Remember kit, one of the embellishments, and we move on. Let me see what I end up picking. Oh, you know what? I don't pick the whole thing anyways because I can't fit it on there. But I do think I put... No, I do. It looks like I did put 11. Yay. I did it the right way. There I am, making sure. Yep, I do put 12/11. Perfect. All right. Next up is going to be actually a full year later. So, like I said, unfortunately, we lost him about 20 days after that event on the 26th. He passed away. And then this is our first time taking our sons out to his gravesite and remembering him on the year anniversary. And so this is a picture of my husband at that, and then a picture of him teaching my oldest son, which is the only son that actually knew him. And we always say that, unfortunately, one person goes to have one person born, and we found out that we were pregnant with my youngest son, literally weeks, not even weeks, after he passed away. So, and he looks a lot like him, so it's kind of crazy. Anyways, another very easy spread, just using those remember hearts up above. Oh, you know what? Those hearts that were on the last one were from, I think they were from Tracy Reed. Now that I think about it, I'll have to go back and see. I'm not positive. I actually will. I don't think that they were actually from the Remember kit. No, they were from the You Story kit. They were from the You Story kit. I'm sorry about that, guys. The embellishment was definitely, though, from the Remember kit. So, the Remember kit has these circles with a vellum pockets. I only get the digital kit, so I make them myself. These ones are pretty easy. I just print out the circle and then cut a half piece of vellum and sew those together. This picture was just a little bit too big to fit in there. And then slide that in. Pretty darn easy, and I loved using these. I actually use these in another spread that I will have a video out for next week. And yeah, I wanted that one to be a pocket because I had a spot that I wanted to cover up in the picture. Somebody was like looking at a phone, and somebody was making a weird face. So I want to do that. And then I also am going to put my journaling on the back of this photo. And I just love how they were both looking up to the sky, and I do remember him telling him a story and why we do this and this, that, and the third. So that was about what my journaling was for. Did choose some phrase stickers. You're going to see me move this one. I thought I would put it over to the side, but then it just didn't look right, so we ended up moving it to the middle and put in a little asterisk from L Studio. I believe it is. Yep, see, there we go. Yep, and then I'm going to move this all over the place. Luckily, it's on vellum, so it was pretty easy to move around. I've been using a ton of vellum lately in all of my projects for some reason. There's that L Studio. I was trying to match that red up there from the Remember one. And then it's pretty much as easy as that. This is probably literally the first spread that I've ever documented from 2012, so it will just go in the front. I think you'll see that here coming up. It will go in the front of our family album to just wait for other stories from that year. I just got a hard drive back from a computer that crashed that had all those pictures on it. So these were just the first ones that I've been pulling out of there. Again, if you don't know my story, I was a scrapbooker way back when that little guy there was like 1 or 2. I did it for a little bit while he was young, and then totally gave it up when my youngest son was born, as I was trying to build a business and had 2 little ones and didn't have the space in my house to do it anywhere. And so now that my business has been built and my kids are older and I have more time, I'm getting back into it. So I have lots and lots of memories to scrapbook. And sometimes that's a little overwhelming, but I'm trying to just take it, little bit by little bit. Now that pocket, I didn't really think that through. I thought about it might fall out, but it feels like it's just going to stick in there pretty well. So we're just going to leave it. Again, this has legit nothing to do. I did this one pretty much totally digitally. I used the Remember stamp and stamped it at a low opacity. There we go. Couldn't get that out of my mind. And then I just put a date stamp on it, as you've seen. So I pretty much just selected the people out of the picture, made a copy of those people, stamped the stamp, and then put that copy over top so that it looks like that stamp is, behind them but in front of them, that kind of thing. And put that one in there. And so here I am making another, spread for 2022. So I've made a few for 2022 now. So I started 2023 with, I think, 1 spread out of 2022. So we're getting there. And then here's these other ones that I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with. This one has been in my queue for literally months. I don't know why. This is a direct scrap lift from, I'm not positive who. I will put it in the link below and I'll put it up on the screen here. But I loved this one. I can't remember exactly what she was doing with it. I think it was maybe her taking her kid to college. I'm not sure. But I took it of the back of my truck when we are on our way to baseball tournaments and we are packed full. And it is just a season of my life right now. And sometimes I always, no matter how stressed and how much we don't want to go sit in, 90-degree weather, one day I will definitely miss this. And so, especially since my oldest is only have about 3 seasons left. So since he's a sophomore, I did change it up a little bit. She didn't have ink blots. I wanted a little bit more around. She, I think, did a lot more chipboard pieces. I just did one and kept it real simple. So yeah, I changed it around a little bit, but she used the Season of Life. This is from the Season story kit, so let me throw that in there real quick. So, I'm still story crushing kits, but, it's not the same kit at this point, but, All right, I did just leave this in here, just show you guys me going through all of the chipboard. I really probably need to organize this better. I'm not exactly sure how to organize it exactly yet. I don't know how my mind processes that yet. I keep on thinking about it, but I really just don't know. That really wasn't going to pop off of that photo, so I grabbed a label, and as you can see, I have plenty. I've kind of just organized those by color, and there's many different shops in there. But all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Definitely hit that subscribe button, as we're just so close. And I will always love a thumbs up if you are loving this, and this will be hopefully more of a twice a month thing. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.